everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Let me share my screen real quick and we will get going. So let's take a closer look at our functions, and we will add a little bit of comments, and maybe we will use step through the code to see how it works. So this function is checking if our password is strong enough. And what this function returns, it returns an error message that it's not necessarily an error message, but it's a message that says what is wrong with our password, and we display it underneath the field. So I will show you how do we display that message in a second. So, and what we rely on this, so if there is no error message, so if you have error message, that's an indication that something is wrong. If there is no error message, that means our password is strong enough. So let's probably set up. We call this function from two different locations because we have two new password fields. So it is implemented via field events. Let me show you that. I didn't give my field events good names, but okay, edit page. Let's take a look at new password 1, field events. So let's take a look at this change event right here. On change, we call validate field function. And on editing, which is, so change is happening when we change something and we exit the field, proceed to another field, etc. Editing will happen while we editing the field. So once we type any character in the field without leaving it, even this event will be executed. So it will call function strong password. So we are checking for strong password as soon as it is being typed. So it will help us. So you don't want to type password, leave the field and see the error message. So it will be useful to see that error message as soon as it happens. So we pass in page ID there, field name, which is np1, and page object, because we also need that. And in case of the second field, it will be the same, but field name is different. It's np2. So strong password function is that being executed every time we change the content of the field without even leaving it. So let's set up a breakpoint and see how it works. So I pull up the dev console and I go to sources. And let's take a look at where our code is. So custom functions, it's probably easier to go here. So we can start here, actually, if we want to. So this is the code of our JavaScript unload event. You can see that. And it's just a little bit easier because you cannot, it's not easy to tell which field this event applies to, because we call the same validate fields events we can guess. So that's our code strong password for np1 field. This is most likely code that is executed when we exit np1 field, exit np2 field, edit np2 field, etc. But probably it's going to be a little bit easier to actually understand the logic to get here, to set a breakpoint here. So the strong password. So it doesn't matter if we start modifying np1 or np2, it will be coming to this function. So I put input into np1 field and I enter a character and we end up here. Let's take a look. Page ID is 1. We don't care. Control name as np1, which is correct, and page opt is a complex runner page object. Okay, it makes sense. So let's see what it does. Okay, let's see what it does. It will make a little bit more sense and will help us understand what kind of logic we have here. So again, this is editing event which happen on every character you type, or if you paste something, it will be executed immediately. So I press F10, step through the code, one step at a time. Current value is F. So that's I will explain it a little bit later. So here we clear error message, if any, and then we need to create this kind of object. So the control that we perform our validation on, because check strong password is a part of validation object, which is a part of runner object. So this is why it's quite complex, and I just wanted to use it as is. So, and we execute that check strong password. So an error message, let's look at the error message. So you can see that this is an array. So error message does exist, meaning that something is wrong with our password. And we're just making sure that error message is an array because our next part of the code relies on that. So, and for every error message in error message array, you can see that it's an array with 3 entries in it. We step through every message. We use each function in JavaScript, and we create a error message that is a string. So we just transform that array with error messages into a string. We also add divs, so every error message appears on its own line. So it's just an HTML with error message, right? So now we find that hint, the place where that hint is from will be shown. I will show you. So we remove attribute hidden, and we find that text muted. I assume that's a div. We will figure out where is it, and we assign HTML of that div to be our error message, which is this. So that's part of the code. So I just want to show you. So this part is executed when there is an error message. If there are no error messages, we do the opposite. We clear the previous error message, if any, and we hide that this div. So this is it. So this function does this strong password function does 2 things. First, it prepares and invokes a check strong password, which is a part of PHP Runner framework. And second, it either clears error message for this specific field or adds an error message. So let me just remove this. And I will show you a little bit more about this. So where it's adding that error message. Okay, and I will click continue. So, and I will hide it. So let's take a look at what is this area underneath the input box. So what is this? And what else we can do? So it appears underneath each edit control. Let's change the form and do separate controls and labels. So tooltips, yeah, I just forgot. So underneath every, so this is a label. This is another label. And this is the edit control itself, and tooltip is the area where we display tooltip. So if there is no tooltip, you won't see it, but we are using it to display error messages. So it's very useful. It's underneath. You can see that it's underneath every single edit control, and you can use it to display something. Error messages are usually perfect for validation. Error messages are perfect for displaying this kind of information. So we didn't need to create anything new. We can just use this. Take a look at what kind of HTML is in here. And it's probably, so that's our input box. Okay, let me scroll so we can see it. So that's our input box. And underneath, there is, you can see that there is a div with attribute data help for np1, which is the name of our field. And if we expand it and expand it again, text muted, so by default it's hidden, and we can see our error message right here.